It's just the natural improvement. They've decided to not play any of the recent draftees, so they're going with the guys that have got 3 pre-seasons into them. So they're looking for the natural progression. We see Jeremy Laidler there coming from Carlton. He started at Geelong and he's making his way into the Sydney Swans lineup on the half-back flank, Barry.
Well, as I said, there's some big names missing from the Swans outfit, but they've got 15 premiership players, so it's not a bad side. And look at the midfield. They've got McVeigh, Hanbury, Kennedy, Jack. They've got O'Keefe that can float through there. I spoke about the inexperience in the ruckman. They've got 3 ruckmen that's played 2 games between them, so very inexperienced here. We're going to look to see how they go there. Jeremy Laidler, we spoke about them. I'm looking forward to see how he goes in the back half.
Let's have a look at the Giants now. As you say, 3 premiership players, but they're from 3 different clubs. So you get the expertise from 3 different backgrounds coming into this team. Trelaw's named on the back flank. Expect him to go into the midfield. Plowman will probably push back a little bit. That's the team as we try and throw a ruse into it as we go. We'll find out just about the ruses and what's going to happen out there in a... That's probably what they would have preferred.
And that's exactly the situation where you're going to get the likes of Hunt and Heath Shaw going to be a massive asset, because they can direct the younger players, or if they've got the ball, they'll know where to go.
Towers in some space, and he likes his opportunity here. Runs inside 50, got great acceleration, runs to 40, first score of the night, and it's a terrific goal, his first. Dean Towers playing his first game for the Swans. He's had some VFL experience, but he's finished off beautifully. Jack was being a little bit cute there, and Dylan Shield did well to come in and spoil. O'Keefe cutting through Smith, in turn Lloyd. They work it well, and that's out through Naismith, one of the ruckmen. And out in front, it's a good take by Reid. Now McGlynn loves the goal, but this time he kicks into the pocket. Well taken by Rowan.
Great hands.
And it was good hands, and the kick comes off, and he kicks the goal. It's Brendan Jack.
The Sydney Swans just to block that exit, and again, like at the other end, they're very well drilled. They know the position they've got to get into, force the long ball down the line, which is what they want to do, and then you've got the likes of Grundy or Ted Richards there to defend or take the mark.
Not paid to McGlynn, so chance here for the Giants. Addison, Giles, Scully with time to assess. Kicks it over the top. Whitfield, number 1 draft pick, number 1 goal for 2014. Lucky Whitfield. Tumbles onto the chest of Malcheski.
Yeah, Lucky Whitfield should have seen that one earlier and made the contest. Well done by Malcheski. So good at getting onto those ones. He just seems to get a lot of uncontested footy down the line.
Look at this spread, as Alistair mentioned. Well, there's another helicopter from Laidler, but
they're going to score here, Sydney. You can just see a bit of fatigue in the Giants creeping in at about that 15-minute mark or so.
Lloyd's kick up high. Mumford there, but beaten to it. He won't be happy about that, Mummy.
No, and nor with a defensive coach for the Giants. That just shouldn't happen. Big Derricks has taken a fantastic grab at the top of the square.
Only played 2 games with the Tigers, and one of them was that ill-fated come-from-behind loss, a win for the Gold Coast against Richmond at Cairns. Tommy Derricks coughed one up late. I've always been a rap for this bloke's hands above his head. As we saw then, this bloke can seriously grab the ball above his head.
Absolutely. So
it's almost like they've got to clear it out a bit, let Cameron be a leader. Just try and bring him into the game.
I agree with Johnny Longmire, though. I think Sydney have actually been rather static in their forward line. It's a hit-up lead or a hope on Reid taking a big mark. If they have a bit of sideways movement in their forward line, I think they could have kicked another 2 or 3 maybe.
Parker working extremely hard in 3 or 4 efforts there. Got the kick away. Hunt reads it. Now he can kick it a long way. He bangs it all the way to the top of the square. Down it comes from Cameron. Grundy kept it in, but gave it to Cornelio. And Cornelio does the sensible thing, squares it up, gets a diving mark from Callum Ward, and he should kick their second.
Now, if we get a view of this, Jeremy Cameron is caught under the ball, but he flat hands at one hand to make sure the ball stays in front of him back into play. It trickles away, and it's the snap back into the middle. We might get a look at it if Ward can do the right thing and convert here, and we get a bit of time.
Margin's 2 goals. Ward to make it 1, and he does so. And Cornelio kicked the 2. He's had 15 disposals already, Steve Cornelio.
That's great umpiring.
Yep. Smith's not going far. And he wants to get rid of it. He's making sure the umpire can see it.
Hey, Barry, there's these 2 umpires. They're competing for the last along with a couple of others, the last couple of spots on the roster.
Yeah, last couple of spots, Derm. You're dead right. It's there's not only competitive for the players, but it's for the umpires. So there's a few out there, and there's 2 spots left. So we wish them luck.
I think Ray's got a Guernsey.
I think Ray's okay, and Malcheski's okay as well as he slams it through. He doesn't miss many when he's got time, Nick Malcheski. In fact, he's got 9 points. That is a super goal, first one for the evening. Malcheski bangs it through.
That is a super do on top of his head as well. Look at that.
And this is where he's lurking 70 metres out in the corridor, and just the lateral handball out of the congestion, and he's just sitting there waiting. We know his potency on the left foot, and this is set up for him beautifully. And we saw young Mitchell ask for the handball. Very optimistic, I would have thought. And that's a nice goal. He's played some good football over the years, but All-Australian last year for the first time. It's a credit to him the way he's come back after those knee reconstructions.
So the NAB Super Goal pack to North Ringwood, his junior club, and very pleased to see Malcheski slam another one through. Margin to 15. Been okay in the centre clearances, the Giants, not to be this time, although Cunningham's just fumbled. So to Jack, Hanbury won't. Brandon Jack, Mitchell, Malcheski, and playing in front and getting the advantage of that is Lloyd.
Gee, that was a good kick.
Now Lloyd moves it quickly, one-on-one deep. Oh, Reed, another good strong mark. That's his 3rd for the day.
Very nice mark, and his reach. He marks the ball pretty different to most others. He has the arms stretched out straight.
Yeah.
A lot of players take it with a bend in the elbows, but he has the straight arm. Big reach here, makes it really hard for Davis. So 2 grabber on that occasion, but tough for Davis.
Reed from 20 metres out, shouldn't have a problem with it, and he doesn't. So a couple of quick ones to the Swans, and all of a sudden they're out to a 21-point lead. And we've talked a fair bit about their talented forward line. Maybe it's the competition of Tippett and Franklin that has really sparked this man. He's going, hang on, I've really got to go well here because there's not too much room there. But they've got some experience, haven't they?
Well, they certainly have. Have a look at where the bulk of their experience is, really in that real premiership window area of 100 to 200 games. There's 11 players there for the Sydney Swans. A lot less for the GWS Giants, obviously, but 15 new youngsters coming into the side as well, which is really good.
15 100-plus game players, and the ones who are in the 200-plus, they're not over the hill either. They're actually still soldiering on manfully and viable.
And they're around 300 games as well, all-time greats.
Ranked number 1 in the comp. So here's Cameron trying to just tap it out in front of Cornelio, and the Giants probably need one on the way back here. Green, Bug.
Oh, Giles, he's in.
Malcheski's in. He's the battle of the beards there.
Yes.
Probably a bit more time put into Malcheski's hairdo as well.
Than the beard.
Yeah.
He's let the beard do its own thing, and the hairdo's rather groomed.
Big switch. McVeigh.
Yeah, he played it well.
Just far too experienced and clever there for Palmer. Coming in to help out Lloyd to Smith. Good user of the footy. One-on-one. Towers and Hampton. Hampton pats it down. Well, free kick, and he wanted to move it quickly, Mitchell.
That's a good kick.
Got it over to Cunningham, and Cunningham bangs it through.
I think it's a 9-pointer.
Another 9-pointer. Super goals are raining left, right and centre here at Star Trek Oval. So one from Malcheski, one from Harry Cunningham.
And in the 3rd quarter, as we said pre-game, we're going to have Kevin Sheedy in here as a guest commentator. Which, how are you going to go with that, Dan? There's a free kick here, generated shot.
And he does.
So the experience there, he's brave enough to try that.
Yeah, he's opened it up.
The young kids probably will say, I don't want to be that wrong if it doesn't come off.
And have a look at the result here, because Hunt finds Big Giles, lead up his Shields, an open forward line. Can he hit a target? He's off his line, he's in trouble. Got to hook it around the corner and onto the chest. It was a good kick. Lockie Whitfield, who I'd back from here.
Yeah, you're right in the call, Matty. He was in a lot of trouble, but did very well to get out of that with dragging the ball around the corner to this young man.
He actually gave himself a charter then that was a lot more difficult than he started with, trying to touch that one over the top across the foot.
So Whitfield kicked the first goal for the Giants tonight. This for his second, importantly for his team, to bridge the gap.
That's nice.
Needs to come just back a bit. It held its line. It's through. He's got 2, and the Giants have 4. Margin 3 goals.
It was round 3 here against the Saints where he did that ACL injury. So it's good, almost 12 months, 11 months out of the game.
He'd be itching to get out there, wouldn't he?
Oh, well done.
Beautifully done by Derricks, although that is a very high ball. We're going to wait an age here. Oh, Jack. Super attempt. It falls for Rowan, so Rowan will get around, kick the goal, but you've got to give the assist. No possession, but a terrific effort from Jack.
Great work from Jack, but that was almost a midfield bomb from Big Tommy Derricks. He set it up there. It looked like it was going to be a rebound off the back line for GWS, but because it was that high, it was a great attack at the ball, and Gary Rowan finished off some nice work, as you said.
He's almost grabbed that.
Kieran Jack would be used to that, boys. Being a rugby league background, he'd be used to that sort of thing.
It was a bomb, wasn't it? He was trying to defuse the bomb like his dad used to at full back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He showed a bit of spunk there, Gary Rowan, didn't he? Maybe if you're out of the game that long and you want to make every post a winner, you take the half shots when they're on offer, but he thought, no, I'll sell the balk here and walk into the open goal.
I think he's got a reasonable handle on the wheels that he's possessing, which are very quick.
Swans back out to a lead of 25, approaching half-time. McGlynn was coming through. Lloyd, good handball to release McVeigh, who puts it out in front. That's delivery to Reid. That's good work.
Very tough to do anything about that from a defensive point of view. Once you have that sort of unpressured clearance where you run out of the front of the stoppage with no real pressure, it's hard to stop.
He's taken 5 marks and he's popped through another goal. That's his second. Rocket handball through to Grundy. He felt McVeigh behind him. And they've got some numbers here, and cutting through on the angle is Cunningham. And that's an angle. He's pulled that far too far back.
Well, they're open now.
And it might hurt him if they can be clean here. Frost, he got a call out wider.
He'll come back in.
Hunt should hit his target. Well, he's pushed it out in front of Green. In the end, it was a very good kick. It was an instructive kick. Toby Green, he's been inaccurate so far, but this time he spots a man in the square. And Lamb plays on and kicks the goal. Coast-to-coast stuff from the Giants. Just what they needed. Just 15 metres. The kick for Cornelio now. A lot of possessions for him. That's number 20, leading a kick winner on the ground. And
now, Jeremy Cameron has Malcheski opposed to him. If he can find a bit of space, he's forced himself into a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Treloar went one way, then the other. Addison's got a good mark, though, and he's well within his range here.
He's looked likely in the forward half at different times.
He's been a bit of value, I think.
Yeah.
He's had an unfortunate free kick against...
It was a bit unlucky there, wasn't
yeah,
it?
It was very unlucky.
The Martians landed again, but it was good.
Well, we've taken 2.5 minutes and the Martians are involved. It's good to see you. You're on form, Kevin.
But he's the right player they need, given the experience.
Big marshmallows as runners, so we're going all right.
As Kevin, he's played 88 games, 26 years of age. There's a bit of lack of that type of player in that area. Now they're away here. They've shut it down well here. He reads play very well, Lockie Whitfield. He saw that coming unfolding.
He kept control. Courage. And it was there. Great stuff. He has not touched the footy.
He'll go. You knew he'd go.
Yeah, he did give that call that he'd go, and he did not even think about
It was clever though, Lynchy. We watch it in the replay. He just timed it so when he got the touch, he was able to turn side on. Yeah. You stay wide open, you're susceptible to awful damage right down the front, but he just turned on the touch. We'll see the replay in the bottom square here.
You'd be hoping Jonathan Patton will be calling him in, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so.
Yeah. And loud and clear because...
support.
Oh, he will be. There's no doubt about that. It's been a terrific effort. He's come from the second division country championships, Mumford. Come out of Bunyip and was coached by a guy called Ron Thomas. And when he put him up, that guy was an amazing effort because he's come from nowhere like Kirk. He'll be a very, very great acquisition for our club.
Chance for Sydney. Quick hands required. Cunningham back to Shaw. Round the corner, Reece Shaw. It looks good. It's a goal. And they get one against the run of play, the Swans.
Skewed. What do you reckon your great assets were as a coach?
Knowing the opposition. I knew the opposition pretty well. And recruiting. Probably the only, risk. I was a risk taker, but, I think sometimes you've got to take a risk.
Risk or vision?
Risk in regard to making decisions in games if you're behind or in front.
Goal to Mitchell. Sorry, Kevin. It was a pretty soft goal and then an easy one.
Well, it was. It was hardly touched by any of the opposition coming down the ground, so that was the disappointing part of play. Probably vision on the ground. I always knew where most people were.
Cast into the crystal ball. As you say, north of the Murray. How do you reckon Buddy Franklin will go in Sydney?
I think it's been great to get another great player from Melbourne or anywhere in Australia to get into Sydney. I think it's terrific for the game, and I'm really pleased that we didn't get him, but I'm happy that the Swans did. Simple as that. And it gives the Swans an opportunity. They're starting to get a little bit of an ageing list, and getting Tippett and him in the last 2 years are going to actually keep that game up. And the contest in Sydney against all the codes is really strong.
Yep.
And I think you'd know that being in Brisbane for so long, and both of you being in Queensland. And I just think from that point of view, the biggest player I thought in the end was obviously Tony Lockett.
Just steady here, the Swans. Just got control of the ball around the contest there.
Well, we saw in the first 2 quarters, Sydney looked better in the back half of each of those quarters. Just got a little bit of fatigue. We're talking about blokes who are into their 3rd season, which gives them some experience. Another sweet hit from Reed.
All 4 involved. Onto the chest of Patton.
And it's good to see him involved as well.
Can he hit a target on the way down? He can. Kick from Treloar. Tumbles to the goal square. Bug through the middle. Green. A bit of room here. Kennedy. This is the important one. Giles and Cameron, they sort of get in each other's way. This is where Cameron can be so dangerous. Smith went in, went down. Patton did well, trapped it, stole it, gave it to Dylan Addison for his 2nd goal. That's a beauty. That'll get the crowd going. Patton involved in a good finish.
Their best goal of the night, Kevin.
A little bit of basketball in those hands there, wasn't there?
Oh, it was very
nice. A little bit of
nice.
Michael Long. See you later. Give me the ball and I'll roll it around my fingertips like a piano player.
Work rate of Jeremy Cameron here. Attack at the ball, not out of the contest, wants to get back involved, stays involved. And just always a physical presence.
Good hands.
Backhand slap and rolls it up. Look at this.
The thing I was impressed with him, Kevin, with big Jonathan Patton, is for a huge kid, a huge man, he takes very small steps and balances up very quickly from a congestion possession like that.
He's not awkward and cumbersome. And that's so, this is why, one of the great assets Dustin Fletcher had at his height, but he was a fantastic tennis player. And he was quick at the nets. And, Dustin would have been a great soccer goalie. Fantastic.
Yeah, I remember using him in Ireland in the net.
He's sensational, he was. Won the series for us.
Oh, Gilesy, Roby.
Giles again. He managed to get it to Scully. Kieran Jack wrapped him up, but they've still got the ball. Addison's kicked 2 in this quarter. Gets a call out wide. Cornelio fished it up to Dylan Shield. Shield's kicked. There's 3 of them there. Will it fall for Lockie Whitfield? It does. He's got 3. And all of a sudden, let's take a look at the margin. It's 2 goals.
And ball that spears out. It's just too hard.
Derrick's did well again.
Great knock. Hanbury, quick hands. Parker to Shaw. He's already got one around the corner like that this quarter. Some pressure here. Oh, he did well there. Big Nankervis along the ground. Kicks the goal. Kicks his first. Gets Sydney out by 3 goals.
That's an impressive goal from the Swans.
And it's important that the kids in the game and players playing out in the ranks understand that.
Cunningham's kicked and no one up forward for Sydney, so Bug can go back and tidy up here for the Giants.
Circle work.
On the switch, they've got some numbers. Cornelio continues to rack up the possessions. Clock ticking down, though. That's not his best kick. It might fall for Sydney here. O'Keefe, inboard. Kieran Jack. That's how you make them pay. That's how you get a turnover and bang it through. And right on three-quarter time, that hurts the Giants.
They take 2 steps backwards to make 1 forward instead of the other way.
Derrick's won the knock. It's the Swans by 24 points. As Kevin mentioned, he was talking about, can the Giants get the first goal and get things going? And Mumford slips it to Green.
3 efforts by Mumford then.
Yep. Cameron couldn't grab it, and he comes back for the tackle. Hanbury spills from him. Jack pushes it forward, and the Swans get out of trouble with some hard running. Hanbury helps out again. Kick off the side. Naismith almost. Picked up cleanly by Rowan. Tumbles it forward. It may go all the way. Keeping his feet is Cunningham and makes it look easy. And the Swans are up by 5, and Cunningham's got his second.
Well, that's what Mummy...
Slipping the handball over the top to mid. Sat on it there.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you cannot collapse from the front like that. It's not
right.
dangerous, yeah.
50 metres as well, so it's a soda here for Mitchell to kick the goal.
New Sydney Swans ruckman, Naismith and Derricks.
Yep.
Kennedy told to play on.
Great spot.
Spots McVeigh, good vision. And McVeigh won't waste it. He's got Shaw running for him. Maybe one more from Shaw. Into the pocket goes Cunningham again.
He took off. Before Shaw had marked the ball, he thought there's space over the back here. And Shaw knew that his teammate would make a break for that space. So he got off the mark quickly.
Drop punt, he celebrated.
Like, they're at a premium. Blokes who can stand and deliver, mark the ball inside 50, they are worth their weight in gold.
Well, just
with bringing the ball to ground rather than a hold down and one float over. The size of Pat.
McVeigh gets it from McGlynn. Now O'Keefe's got 40 metres to himself, and he's going to use the speed of Rowan.
Oh, well done.
Oh, terrific stuff. Just dropped on him by about a metre, so all of a sudden the contest loomed up inside him. Just
Great
there,
run.
just drops.
Again, similar to a couple of games he played late last year, he hasn't had a lot of the ball, but he's shown some really good signs again, Rowan.
You know what, I've watched him play, and I think he's a desperately, wonderfully talented player. I reckon he needs a lot of space.
Yeah.
When he sees a lot of cut grass in front of him, he says, I can use my pace to win this. I don't know if he's going to find the ball all that much in heavy traffic.
Yep.
He might get it as he plays more game time in senior AFL. Good kick, left the boot nicely. But when he can run into space and go, right, my assets at my size, 6'1.5", 6'2", is my blistering pace.
Yep.
I reckon he feels good about that situation and run.
Green's leading the way for the Giants with 30 disposals. Cornelio 29. Whitfield has been very classy with 25. Tommy Mitchell 34 for the Swans in front of Parker with 27.
Really pleased for Tommy Derricks there, who just competed for that last boundary line throw in. The line player over the last couple of years. It did very well in the ruck for the Sydney Swans.
So comfortable victory for the Sydney Swans. John Longmire and his coaching team.
I think he'd be reasonably happy. There's a bit of rust in, obviously, with both teams to iron out your game plan, your structures, and get everyone handling the ball properly. And when fatigued, using the ball is always very difficult. And round one of the NAB challenges, when you're going to see a fair bit of fatigue.
There's Mummy just having a chat to his former teammates.